FM 100.7, the Fresh News People.
A song that would never ever die off.
Not the square person.
And of course, I agree. Time na money. That time you used to go around sticking your nose or your neck into businesses that does not concern you. Would, if put into your business, if put into your work, would actually fetch you a lot of productivity. So let's change the narrative this morning and learn as much as we can to value our time, and also not just valuing our time, but we should learn to be very, very productive.
From heaven to bed.
And it's on that note I say good morning to you. Welcome to today's edition of Health Revolution right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. Thank you so much for your company, and thanks to you, Barry Cosmos, for handing over to me this morning. And yes, I will not be alone today on the program. I will be joined live by a guest, a medical doctor. But by the way, my name is Mary Omeniwode. You can call me the Slim Diva, your most adorable. And quickly, let me drop two updates before we get to unveil the topic for today. I know it will be of great interest to everyone listening at this time. And the first update I have for you is actually good news. This goes to show that Nigeria doesn't want to, be left behind. Okay, we are all advancing technologically, and the federal government has identified more than 217,000 previously unvaccinated children over the past 18 months. How were they able to achieve this? They used digital tracking technologies, which is a move that is aimed at improving routine immunization coverage and reducing vaccine preventable diseases across the country. And we are getting the information that since, vaccination started and all of that, if you do your research properly, you'll find out that children in underserved areas most of the time do not get vaccinated or immunized against some of these diseases. So the Primary Healthcare Agency is working tirelessly to ensure that, these children in the rural and underserved areas get the needed, attention that they need. And how do they want to achieve this? They are saying that they would have to use what we call GPS trackers to monitor vaccination teams and verify that they reach their assigned communities. You see this one? I love it so much. All right. So if you are hoping to be part of an immunization team that will be dispatched to the rural areas, just know that they will start to track you. The way the vehicles are tracked, very soon, human beings, then go they track us. So this is serious, but it's for a very good cause. And quickly, the last update before we go over to join our guest via the phone this morning. I just want to open up our eye to a disturbing information coming all the way from Italy. And we are hearing that children in Italy, Italian children, are among the most overweight in Europe. This is according to the World Health Organization. And they are saying that initially in the 1950s, Italy was known for what we call the Mediterranean diet. What is the Mediterranean diet? A diet that is rich in vegetables, legumes, olive oil, whole grains, fish, and other healthy-based diets. That's what they were known for in the 1950s. And as a result of that, they had low rates of heart disease. But let me shock you. Research has shown that this traditional Mediterranean diet has been lost. This is according to Dr. Longo, who's actually the one behind the research. And he says that only 10% of Italians now follow the Mediterranean diet. And the transformation is visible everywhere. He is complaining that you go to supermarkets, you go to the shopping malls, you go to the markets. What you see everywhere is ultra-processed foods, from junk food to pizzas to sausages to chips, name it. That's what they have everywhere. No more, nobody goes for vegetables anymore. And what is mostly alarming is that he says he has treated children who are just 2 to 3 years old, already weighing 25 kilograms. Do you know what that is? Obesity of the highest level. So he's saying that the most annoying thing is that most Italian parents do not even recognize that their children are overweight, and it's a problem. Why am I saying this? If care is not taken, you see this thing I just narrated now, very soon it will start to play out in Nigeria. Yes, give children under 5, in particular, give them vegetables. They'll be looking at you. What's this? It's not sweet. I can't eat this. That's the new norm. So we have to really, try as much as we can to encourage the younger generation to develop a habit of eating more of fruits and vegetables. And with that said, let's go over to the topic for today. And this morning, I'm trying as much as I can to get connected to our guest on the phone. Unfortunately, she would have actually come live, but I understand she has a lot of work to attend to. Good morning to you, Dr. Nkiruka Chinedu Anonaso. Good morning.
Good morning.
And it's good to have you join us. It's a pleasure to have you on this platform this morning. How have you been, ma'am?
I'm fine. And you?
Very well, thank you. Okay, and for people who do not know, Dr. Nkiruka Chinedu Anonaso is a consultant physician and neurologist, head Neurology 1 Unit, business manager, executive, and specialist clinic, the Federal Teaching Hospital. She is also the chairman, Medical and Dental Consultants Association of Nigeria, Federal Teaching Hospital, Owerri. This your profile longo, doc. Wonderful. I know you even had to cut it down, because of this program. I have seen your profile. The first day I saw it, fear catch me. How do you even cope? How are you able to achieve all of this? But I'm proud of you, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, so let's go straight up into the conversation, and we'll be making reference to a news report released recently. We want to try as much as we can to discuss the high rate of stroke in Nigeria. Now, we stumbled on an article, a news item, where neurologists raised the alarm that stroke is increasing. The cases of stroke we have in Nigeria seems to be on the increase at an alarming rate. And what they quoted, they said at least one Nigerian develops a stroke every minute. Did you hear me? One Nigerian develops a stroke every minute. They did not say every hour. That is how alarming this information is. So today we shall find out why this is so and try to create more awareness that will curb the high rate of stroke cases we have in the country. As much as we can, we will break it down for your understanding. Dr. Nkiru, it's a pleasure once again. So you heard of the disturbing analysis. I already shared that information with you. I would like to hear what you have to say on this particular issue. Go ahead, please.
I will try as much as possible to use the layman's language so that all our audience will be able to understand all the things we are going to discuss this morning.
Please do.
Because, neurology has a lot of medical terms that may not be easy for people to understand, but I'm going to break it in such a way that even a child in primary school will be able to understand what we are talking about.
It's okay.
What you just said now is the problem we are having, even here in Federal Teaching Hospital. There's no single day in our accidents and emergency that we don't have more than 3 or 4 people presenting with stroke. Either the hemorrhagic wonders or the ischemic. But before we go into what is causing or why there is an increase, I think it is best for us to really understand what stroke is.
Okay.
In Igbo, they call it Obamuo. You understand? As if somebody has a spiritual attack. And you don't blame them. You know why they use that term Obamuo to explain the illness, the stroke, is because it's of sudden onset. You may be discussing with somebody, all of a sudden, before you know what is happening, there's a weakness. Or the person suddenly cannot talk. Even now, with the new definition, somebody having stroke can present with sudden loss of sight, sudden blindness.
Oh my God.
And that is stroke. The person can talk, move all the limbs. So now it's not a question of if the person cannot move the hand or leg, or if the person cannot, the face is dedicated to one side. That's the only time the person has stroke. No! Sudden blindness can cause stroke.
Wonderful.
Or that it can be a form
sign.
of stroke. Because the particular artery vessel supplying the eye, once there's a blood clot blocking the supply of blood to that area, the person boils down having sudden blindness. So we need to understand that once there is any cut off to the flow of blood to the brain, the person has a stroke. And it's of sudden. That's the only thing that differentiates stroke from every other thing. Is a neurological illness of sudden occurrence. It happens all of a sudden.
Okay.
There's what we call transient ischemic attack. One may have that sudden attack of stroke, but after a while, gradually, the person regains the area back. We call that one transient ischemic attack, TIA.
Okay.
But the only thing with that is that it's a bad warning sign, because anybody that has gone through that TIA should immediately seek for medical intervention or assessment, because the person will still boil down having stroke one day.
Oh, mine.
So if there's anything that can cut off the blood supply to the brain, either if there is a blockage to the vessel supplying blood to the brain, that one, we call that one ischemic stroke. In ischemic stroke, it means that there's a sudden blockage in the vessel that is now obstructing the flow of blood to the brain. Another type of stroke, we call that one hemorrhagic stroke, is when there's a burst on the vessel. So that one is called hemorrhagic stroke. Whether there is a blockage in the vessel or the vessel ruptures, the most important thing is that there's a blockage of blood supplied to the brain. And that area that is being supplied, once there is no longer blood supply to that area, the place or the part of the body that part of the brain supplies become weak or may not be able to function the way it does.
Okay.
So that is what we call stroke. And the major types of stroke, like I discussed now, is either ischemic or hemorrhagic. And I said in ischemic, there's a blockage, and in hemorrhagic, the vessel bursts.
Okay. So you've taken time to break it down. You've told us about the types, the symptoms, the causes rather. I'm mostly concerned about the statistics by your colleagues who are saying that every minute people are coming down with stroke. Are there underlying causes? What's the reason?
Yes, because, causes of stroke is either it can be from high blood pressure, it can be from diabetes, it can be from this lipidemia. What I mean by this lipidemia is high cholesterol. And when we mean high cholesterol level, it's the bad cholesterol, because it's not every cholesterol that is bad.
Okay.
So because that's why we don't say high cholesterol, no. Instead, we use the word dyslipidemia, because there are some cholesterol that is protective, and there are ones that are bad. So that's why we don't normally say, it's high cholesterol that causes that. No. Rather, it's the high, bad cholesterol. Another thing that can cause stroke is heart disease. People that have underlying heart disease like atrial fibrillation or cardiomyopathy. Atrial fibrillation means maybe the heart is no longer functioning well, is no longer pumping blood very well, and because it doesn't have, is no longer, the whole heart muscles are not working together. They now leave room for the blood, especially in heart failure. The heart is no longer pumping very well, so there's a backlog of blood inside the heart. And for the fact that it has not stayed long, it may now find time to sediment and now have small clots. So if maybe the person has now tries to regain himself and now pumps very well, it pushes out a lot of clots into the system. Those clots may then flow and go and block the tiny vessels in the brain, and stroke ensues. Another thing that can cause stroke is smoking. Sedentary lifestyle, especially for the people that are obese. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, I can
and
hear you.
There are some diseases we call autoimmune diseases. The body is fighting itself, building a lot of clots everywhere. And so those illnesses can predispose one to stroke. But the one that is, and even infection, especially in elderly, infections can predispose people to stroke. Then for those abusing drugs, there's what we call psychogenic drugs. All these amphetamines, cannabis.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Those, so those kind of drugs can cause very high blood pressure that can burst the brain. So the brain vessels. So all those can predispose one to stroke. But you find out that the commonest causes of stroke now is uncontrolled blood pressure. That's very high blood pressure, and diabetes mellitus.
Okay.
And now, most of the time, infections.
What kind of
And this
infection?
epidemic.
Because when you mention infection, a lot of things come to mind. Is it syphilis? Is it gonorrhea? Is it the most common one? People will tell you, once you mention infection, what comes to their mind is toilet infection. That's all. That's the only one most of them know. So which infection? Let's know, please.
Most times HIV can predispose to stroke. Even in children, sickle cell anemia predisposes them to stroke.
Okay.
Especially the ischemic stroke. Yes. So when we talk about stroke in the young, you don't mention stroke in the young without talking about sickle cell disease.
Okay, so you've mentioned some underlying ailments, right? What about environmental and social factors? Do they also come to play?
They do, because you find out that when we talk about this epidemic, that's why in the management of stroke, the first thing is lifestyle modification.
Okay.
In the management of stroke, after when you had already handled the first stage, the emergency aspect and everything, you have to call in a clinical dietitian because they are part of the medical team that handle a stroke patient to tell you the essence of lifestyle modification, the essence of diet in the management of stroke.
Okay.
Most of the time, there are some food we eat that predisposes one to unhealthy cholesterol that I talked about, especially the low density lipoprotein LDL. Once this type of cholesterol, the LDL cholesterol is very high, that person is predisposed to having bad cholesterol that can build up plaques or build up clots that can go and plug the vessels supplying the brain.
Okay.
Other thing is other environmental factors. I told you that smoking can predispose one to stroke.
Okay. What of stress?
You know, one thing with this stress, whenever we talk about stress, there's a way, I take it with a pinch of salt. You know why?
Why?
Who doesn't go through stress? Don't you go through stress?
Everybody, in this country, at this time and age, stress is the new norm. Whether you are a politician or whether you are a layman in the rural area, you see stress is now, in fact, we carry it like handbags now.
So you now find out why when somebody mentions stroke, I tell you that I take it with a picture of salt.
Yes.
Because everybody is under stress now.
Okay.
The one thing one has to bear in mind is that normally the body is made in such a way when you pump a lot of stress hormone, especially steroids in the system, God has the way the body is made. He has a way of handling those things. That's why we should channel our energy more on those people that have hypertension, those people that have diabetes, those people that have this epidemic, those people that have heart diseases. If they can be able to handle those underlying illnesses that they have, you know, one thing our people don't know is that somebody that has hypertension can live up to 100 years.
Wow. With management, proper management.
Yes. Somebody that has diabetes can live long.
Okay.
Somebody so everything begins and ends with a mindset. Some people condemn themselves to death once they are told that they are hypertensive. And before you know it, it goes like a steep, as a slope, and the person dies. I've known people that I've handled a boy that had stroke in SS1.
SS1?
Yes, he was in SS1 when he had stroke.
That should be as young as, let's say, between 14, 15?
Very young.
Oh, my God.
And it was caused because he has a genetic cholesterol issue.
Oh, no.
That now caused ischemic stroke. This boy got better, was able to finish his secondary school, has finished his university. You won't even know that he has. So the last time he came to the clinic to greet me, he traveled out, he came back and came to my clinic to greet me. Everybody was shocked when I told them this boy had stroke when he was in secondary school.
Wow.
And you will not know.
Yes.
So that's why I say that most of the time it has to do with a thing of mindset. Do you understand?
I get
and
you.
If, most of the time when some patients come, maybe you diagnose them of hypertension. The first thing is that it's not my portion.
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, doctor, no, I don't have hypertension, no. No. It's because I did not sleep at night. In short, it's because I stressed myself and I laugh. If you don't, other people, if you don't sleep at night and the next day you have your BP, blood pressure is raised, that means you have that compelling tendency to have hypertension.
Yeah.
If not, why is it that people that don't sleep? If it is like that, now all the doctors, most of us will develop hypertension.
Very true.
Because we take calls, we take night calls. What it means is that all those people working in hospital setting, all of them will develop hypertension. It's not like that.
Okay.
Most of the time, our people live in denial.
They
And
do.
by the time they will recover from that denial, to now take up that responsibility to accept that they have hypertension, the hypertension has caused a lot of harm in the body.
And that's why we are trying to change the narrative. If it takes us years, we'll keep talking.
Yes.
We'll
There's
keep
nothing
talking.
wrong in this. When you are told that you have hypertension, that does not mean, that's not a death sentence.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong when a doctor says you have raised blood sugar, you have diabetes. It is not a death sentence. You can still have hypertension and lead your normal life. You can still have diabetes and lead your normal life. The only thing you have to, and you know, the one thing I always tell my patients, it is even better. You start your medication on time. Because when you start your medication on time, the complications will not develop.
Very true. Very, very
And
true.
most times, and you know, that's why I always tell people that this God is supreme. There's nothing. As a neurologist, if you're a neurologist, if you specialize in brain, if you don't know God before, you have to must triple your reverence to God. Because if you see the kind of special artwork God did in the brain, you now know that whoever that did this kind of thing is really omnipotent and should be worshipped every second.
Yeah.
Because God thought it wise that no matter the part of the brain, even when those parts of the brain have their main supply of blood supply, they still have some tiny vessel from other side. Because in the blood supply to the brain, we have the anterior circulation and we have the posterior circulation. You still find out that those areas of the brain that are majorly supplied by the anterior circulation, they still have tiny vessels from the posterior to still supply that place. So that in case if there is a blockage from the main supply, they will still have some tiny from the lacuna from those other places to keep that place alive till the doctor can handle the situation. And that is why if we are talking about the symptoms of stroke, the last one, the fact, see that his time is affected.
Okay.
Because even when those other tributaries, tiny vessels, having to keep that place alive, is there, you have to do something. So make sure that you resuscitate the main supply of the brain.
Yeah, we will come to that. Sorry to hold your thoughts. It seems more like your line is already trying to crack up a little bit. I don't know if you can maybe change your position. Just move around a little, or maybe we'll hang up and call back. It seems more like...
You're not hearing me.
Yes, I can hear you now. It's a little bit better. Okay, so we'll come to, the parts where people have to take precaution, especially the first few hours after a person has come down with stroke, right? We'll come to that because it's very, very important. I remember the last lecture we had, the last discussion we had, you mentioned that. But right now, the phone lines are already beeping. I believe people can no longer wait. Let's hear what they have to say. 0911 20,022 or you call 0707 454 1014. Keep your calls coming in this morning. Hello, good morning to you. Hello, good morning. Okay, baby is crying at the background. Hello.
Yeah.
Kachi, morning to you. Few minutes, please.
Oh,
Go ahead. Go ahead,
I've not even
please.
said anything already.
That's because we have limited time. Please, I
I have
beg
three
you.
questions I want to ask.
Go ahead quickly. Thank you.
My name is Kachisnim Ekuha.
Okay.
I am calling from my community of Inowore West Local Government.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I have three questions to ask. Number one, is stroke hereditary? That is number one.
Okay.
Number two, does he have any permanent cure? Or is it just when it happens, it's now just management?
Okay.
That one is two. Then three.
I can barely hear the person.
Yes, hold on, Doc. I would repeat. Please hold on. Go ahead, Kachisin. No, Kachisin, go ahead.
You will help explain to her.
Yes, I will. Go ahead.
Then is there any, just like recently now, what is happening these days? Anybody at any age can now come up with any ailment. Now I want to also know, is there any age one can attend to before coming across the risk of having a stroke? That is number two. Then number three.
Okay.
Sorry, number four. Finally, number four.
Oh, God. Okay.
What are the drugs, the permanent good drugs, or even nutrients, vegetables, that diets that a person can be placed to ensure that the person has a thorough healing?
Okay.
Thank
you.
From
Thank you, Kachi Sin. I appreciate you as always. Please, when you call in, name, location, go straight to the point. We're trying as much as we can to manage time today. Hello? Hello? Can you hear us? Oh no, this is not good. Change your position and call us back if you can. The program is still Health Revolution right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. And our guest for today is Dr. Nkiruka Chinedu Anunaso, a consultant physician and neurologist. And we are talking about the issue, neurologists actually raised the alarm recently saying that at least one Nigerian develops a stroke every minute, and it calls for concern. We are refreshing our memories on what stroke is, and if possible, toward the end, we'll get to proper solutions and preventive measures. Hello?
Hello,
yes,
good morning.
Good morning. Name, location, and your questions, please.
My name is Mika Manso. I'm calling from Imo State University.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you. My question is, I heard that the drugs that we do take is made with much of chemicals or chemical components, and for a patient, a stroke patient that is always on drug on daily basis, does he have any? Does those drugs have any side effect? And is there any drugs that the person or anything the person can take to neutralize the excessive intake of those drugs that the stroke patient has been taking?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. This morning, we'll try as much as we can to answer. But even before we ask Dr. Nkiru, we might not be able to mention drugs or brands, okay? They would always refer you back to your neurologist to, get a prescription or the prescribed drugs. Thank you. Hello?
My sweet mommy, good morning, ma'am.
Eze, I can hear you today. Good morning.
Mommy.
Name, location, quickly.
Okay, I'm calling from Ebada.
Okay, dear. Go ahead.
Mommy, is it proper for someone who is hypertensive to engage in a regular physical exercise?
Okay.
Because I have this friend, after jogging, he normally jogs every morning. That very day after jogging, he went to the bedroom to take his bath and he just slumped.
Oh, my God.
So I want to know if
All
it
right.
is proper.
We'll get to find out. Thank you so much, Eze. I appreciate you. It's good we are sticking to time today so we can accommodate as much calls as we can. Stroke is a serious affair. It's a serious issue, and the earlier we start to talk about these things, the better. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Mom.
Name, location, and your questions, please.
This is Richard calling from home.
Go ahead, Richard.
I need an advice from the medical sector.
Okay.
There is this thing that is happening to me. I don't really understand all the drugs I've been taking is not effective. Earlier last year, I started having a lot of pain in my eyes.
Speak into your mouthpiece, please.
Earlier last year, I started having pains in my eyes. So I visited the eye clinic. I don't want to mention them. So after they checked it, they said something that it is glaucoma and is in the hand of God, something like that. I was still seeing very well. I was surprised how all of a sudden.
Okay.
So they now checked my BP. My BP was something 200. I was like, how were you able to walk to this place? Even me, I was surprised, but I was having a lot of headache.
Okay.
So, to cut a long story short, they directed me to a cardiologist.
Okay.
So I went there, he checked, and he said that I'm having a big kind of heart enlargement. That is 2 chains.
Okay.
Heart enlargement. So, I'm also, they now say that it's somehow the brain, SSBP, and all the rest of them, but all the drugs and all the everything. There have been both the heart enlargement, the BP.
So what's your question now, please?
The question is, I just need an advice.
Okay.
Advice
Thank
because
you.
this is related to the brain.
All right. Thank you so much, Richard, for your sharing your experience. Okay, Dr. Nkiru, please, are you still with us?
Yes, so I can hear what they're saying.
Yes, let me start from the beginning and let's try to summarize the answers so that we can accommodate more calls, please. And Kachisin asks if stroke is hereditary and does it have a permanent cure?
Yes to both questions.
Okay.
It can be hereditary. If there's a family history of stroke, then those people in that lineage should watch out and try to find out what is causing the stroke. Is it that there's a family history of hypertension and they're not taking good care of it? Is it that there's a family history of diabetes and it's not being managed very well? Do you understand?
Yes.
So once there's a family history of stroke, it tends to cut across. So the only thing they need to do is just to be very careful and watch out for the cause of that and handle it accordingly.
Okay.
Manage it very well. There won't be any problem. Then for the treatment, yes, I have a lot of stroke patients that are living their normal lives, don't even know that they had stroke in the past.
Okay. And then he says, is there any age that a person can get to and the risk factors start to set in? And
they do what?
And the risk factors for stroke will just come up. Is there any age?
Yes. The risk is higher in elderly.
Okay. From what age?
Yeah. So now because of the sedentary lifestyle and a lot of things and our diet and everything, a lot of blood. Many people are no longer taking fruits and vegetables, the kind of food, and a lot of intake of fatty, unhealthy fat. You can't just say none. Many people are predisposed to stroke. And also, now that hypertension, diabetes occur now at earlier age, you can't just pinpoint this particular age.
Okay.
But in women, you find out that it is more in women after menopause.
Okay. And then dietary advice. I know you mentioned clinical dietitians. Dietary advice that maybe for foods that contain more nutrients or fruits or vegetables. He's asking.
Yes, and the healthy fats. Do you understand?
Okay.
We didn't say that nobody should take fats, but we have the healthy one and we have the unhealthy one.
Okay. Like the healthy fats, we have the olive oil. I'm aware of that. Is there any other one you should know about?
It's not everybody that can afford olive oil. Our normal local palm oil, when it's processed very well.
Okay.
Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes.
The bad ones, any palm oil that remains liquid at room temperature is a good oil. Okay. And you find out that the palm oil has a protective effect on stroke.
For
Yes,
real?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. It breaks down clots. So the problem we are having with our palm oil is that most of the time it is not processed well.
The adulterated
but-
majority of the palm oil we
So,
have.
so the well-processed palm oil that was allowed to cook very well, you find out that even at room temperature, it still maintains liquid nature. So I always tell my patients, every oil, whether vegetable oil or palm oil, you understand, that even when after cooking, and you at room temperature, and you find coats of fat, then that oil
Is
is
bad.
not healthy.
Okay, thank you. And Nonso from IMSU says drugs are made up of too much chemicals. If a stroke patient is always on medications, always on drugs, will it have any effect on the person? He's concerned. This your laugh, eh? It has a lot of answers.
No, you see, why I'm laughing is that a lot of people, they have that mindset that drugs are made up of chemicals. And I'm now wondering what are what that is not made of elements and chemicals. Even the vegetables, that everything that you take it, once it goes into the body, it boils down to all these elements. You get what I'm saying?
I get you.
So most of all these medications you are taking are still brought out from, they got them from plants and vegetables that we take. So you find out that some of them need to be processed. So when they are non-processed, to be sure that they are healthy and fit for consumption.
Okay.
Do you understand? So,
Yes.
For somebody that has hypertension, there's no length of time that you take your medication that you say that there's a lot of chemicals in your body. No, unless you're not taking the ones you're supposed to take. Because those medications are for life. And there are the ones that will make you maintain that your normal healthy living. So if you're hypertensive, you have to be on medication for life. If you're diabetic, you have to be on medication for life. And it doesn't, why is it that when it comes to medication for hypertension and diabetes, our people start complaining? Then you see people that are on supplements for life. What is the difference between supplements and your medications for diabetes? And I don't understand.
Okay.
And the person that is worried that he or she is taking medications for life, is the person not taking food for life? Will you say because you have taken your breakfast, lunch, dinner today, tomorrow you will not eat food? I don't understand.
Okay, that's why we're doing this. I know how you feel, Dr. Nkiru. Okay, and then Eze called in to ask, and he actually shared a story of a friend he knows who has hypertension and went to, engage in a rigorous exercise and slumped. So he was asking actually if someone who is hypertensive can engage in a rigorous, regular exercise.
I am happy that the person attached that adjective, rigorous. Why will somebody that is hypertensive it's not that a non-hypertensive cannot take normal exercises, because you are advised, whether you're diabetic, whether you have hypertension, or even those with fatty liver, they are advised one of the modalities in the management of all these illnesses is what? Exercise. But it has to be graded.
Okay.
And the person has to make sure that the person is achieving good blood pressure control. You can't be having a blood pressure of 200 or 180 over 100 and you engage yourself in strenuous exercise.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And the last one we have here, I don't know if we'll have much time to take more calls, but Richard from Owerri is in need of your advice. And he said he doesn't understand what's going on. Earlier last year, he started having pains in his eye. He went for an eye check. He was told he had glaucoma. And then when they checked his BP, it was 200. And then he was directed to a cardiologist, and they said they diagnosed heart enlargement and so on and so forth. In fact, he is tired, he is confused, he doesn't know what else to do because they also linked it to his brain. That's why he decided to call, because you are a neurologist, so he needs your advice.
It's not something that will be discussed on air. The person needs to see a specialist. Okay. And in that case, it has to be a multidisciplinary management. The patient needs to be seen a cardiologist, an ophthalmologist, and a neurologist. Okay. And it's not a big deal. He may be seeing it as a big deal because he has not seen a specialist. Yeah. But once he comes and is being managed by a specialist, everything, before he knows what is happening, he is under control. Okay. And he should know that glaucoma is not something one jokes with. Do you understand? Because that glaucoma can cause blindness. Yes. And glaucoma it needs to be diagnosed on time. Because any level that if the person doesn't present on time and the person has lost his or her sight, it may be difficult to reverse. So I will advise the patient to come to Federal Teaching Hospital.
Or go to any hospital, Dr. Nkiru.
No, they
in a make no advert.
Advert. No, it's not advert. The person needs to see a specialist. It's not just going to a hospital. You need to go a teaching hospital, a tertiary hospital, not just a primary healthcare center. That's what I want to tell you.
Thank you.
Hospital is not my hospital. It's a government hospital.
Calm down, Mama. Calm down. Okay, thank you so much. And the last call before we summarize this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning. My name is Chizoba, calling from World Bank.
Chizoba, go ahead quickly.
Yes, I do want to ask the consultant there. Is there any vegetable or food that has that activation injection they normally give to a transit ischemic stroke patient?
Come again. Is there any vegetable or fruit that does what?
That has this activity of that injection they normally give to a ischemic stroke patient.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. And that brings me to almost the last question I was about to ask you, Dr. Nkiru. Yes, I know that last time we treated stroke, you talked about intervention for people to try as much as they can to rush a person who has come down with stroke within the first few hours, to the hospital, to a good hospital, right? Now, the last caller is asking if there are vegetables or fruits that can also act in the same capacity as that drug or medication that is given to a person who has stroke that presents to the hospital at that time. Today.
That's what the people will not ask me. How will I know?
He wants to know. They know that you are a consultant. It's just like when you...
As a consultant, I'm also a herbalist. I did not help.
Oh my goodness.
The only thing I know is that there are vegetables and plants that are protective. Do you understand? Most of the time we find out that all this food that we take can play a lot of role in preventing stroke from occurring. Then once the patient has had stroke, it is always good and advisable to go to a tertiary institution where you can access a neurologist that can start immediately. The last time I talked on stroke, I told you that if a patient presents on time with blockage, that's for ischemic stroke, that there's an injection that you can give and the clot will melt instantly and the person will regain those weak areas of the body almost instantly. That one works like a magic.
Like within how many hours can they present?
Within few hours. Within few hours.
Okay.
In worst case scenario, within a day, the person will recover fully. Then what it means is that the person has to come to the tertiary institution or to the specialist hospital. Not less than maybe immediately within 1 hour, so that the person can go through the test and everything to be sure that the person is qualified to take that injection before within 4 hours, so that the patient can receive the injection.
Okay, that is well explained. Thank you so much. So I'd like us to summarize because we are almost out of time. Now, is there anything like stroke reoccurrence? For instance, someone has a stroke and has gone for treatment, and somehow the person was able to recover. Is there any chance that that person might later on in the future come down again with stroke? That is one. And then maybe you can now give us your parting word and summarize, please.
Okay. Definitely. That's what we always tell our patients. Once you have had stroke, the risk of a repeat stroke is very, very high. So that's why it's not just about treating stroke. You have to make sure that the patient is on preventive medications to avoid a repeat.
Okay.
So we always make sure that we remind our patients of these 5 letters of the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E. A, you have to be sure you're taking your aspirin. That's the blood thinner. B, you have to make sure you control your blood pressure. C, which is cholesterol, you make sure that you maintain your cholesterol level and be sure that you're not taking maybe things, food that can dispose you to increased bad cholesterol in the body. D, if the patient is diabetic, the patient takes his medication. D too also means drugs, so that the patient should remember that he or she should be taking his or her medications. And E, exercise. Okay. There are exercises for patients that have hypertension, diabetes, and what have you.
Okay.
Then my parting note is that we have to realize that stroke can be handled. A patient that has stroke can regain consciousness, can regain all those weak areas, and come back to his or her normal self before he or she had the stroke. So the only take-home message is that the patient, once you feel that you're having weakness of one side of the body, your mouth is deviated to the one side, any side of the body, you are finding it difficulty to talk, or sudden loss of sight, please rush to the hospital. And another thing is that if you're hypertensive, if you're diabetic, you're being managed for this lipidemia, or all those illnesses that can be predispose one to stroke, please try and take your medications so that you'll be able to maintain the good blood pressure or blood sugar.
Okay.
Thank you so
quickly, in few seconds, because I know it's on the mind of a lot of people, right? In few seconds, what of the local masseurs, people who massage? They tell you, Anna, hey, how do they say it in Igbo? If you have stroke, it's best treated, with the local masseurs. I want to hear quickly, please. What do you have to say?
Yes. No, it's called neurorehabilitation. It's the most important component of management of stroke.
Okay.
So in neuro rehab, we have the physiotherapy, the speech therapy, and occupational therapy. It is embedded in the management of stroke.
It's okay.
Because you can't say you have finished treating a patient without putting the person back to the work or whatever the person is doing before having stroke.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nkiruka Chinedu Anunaso. It's always a delight to have you on this program. It's just that you are always busy. Someday I look forward to having you live in the studio. God.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Don't worry. One day. Yeah, thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Have a blessed afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day.
Bye.
Bye and see ya. Thank you so much. That was Dr. Nkiruka Chinedu Anunaso, consultant physician and neurologist working with the Federal Teaching Hospital Owerri. I appreciate her for, sharing her expertise and teaching us what we should know. So quickly, for people who just tune in, remember these 5 letters or remember this acronym: Be Fast. BEFAST. FAST. These are the signs you can look out for to know if someone has come down with stroke. The B has to do with the balance. Watch for a sudden loss of balance. The E has to do with the eyes. Look out for sudden vision loss or changes in one or both of the eyes. The F has to do with the face. Look out for the smile. Look for a droop on one or both sides of the face and the arms. Try to raise both arms. If you or someone is having a stroke, one arm will sag or drop in a way that it usually doesn't. Watch out for the speech. That is the S. You or someone might slur your speech or have trouble choosing the right words. And then time, that's the last one there. Time is critical. Call for help immediately. Rush the person over to a specialist hospital as fast as you can. You heard what Dr. Nkiru said. If someone slumps, if someone comes down with stroke, that person can be resuscitated within the first few hours or even a day. If you present quickly to a specialist hospital, something can be done to save that person so that they don't get deformed. Let me use that word. Thank you so much. Thank you as always for tuning in. And that's the much we'll be taking on today's edition. Tomorrow is going to be She Matters on Echo FM 100.7. My name as always is Mary Omeniwo. They call me the Slim Diva. You're most adorable. Thank you, DJ Mars. And at 12, we'll bring you the news at noon. Don't go anywhere.
Echo FM. It's the sound of the city.
The masses are suffering. How can suspend me here? Are we slaves?
And I'm going to win this election.
That is the truth.
Stay informed with Echo FM 100.7. Join us for exclusive interviews with experts, breaking updates on local and global events, and in-depth coverage of issues impacting our community. Tune in every weekday at 6:30 a.m., 12 noon, 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. for our major news bulletin in English, Igbo, and Pidgin language. For more inquiries, you can reach us through our email, echofm@thekingmail.com. You can follow us on our social media handles at Echo FM. Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. We are the Fresh News People. It's the news at noon on Echo FM 100.7.
Good afternoon to you and welcome to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri this 30th day of July 2026. We are the station with fair and balanced reporting. My name is Mary Omeni-Wode, bringing you the latest news and breaking stories around the world. Here are the headlines. JAM Registrar Oloyede bows out. INA takes over. Navy dismantles illegal fuel storage facility in Rivers. Budget 2026, government agencies vote 400 billion naira for mosques, palaces and halls. On the foreign scene, Trump asks new UK Prime Minister to tackle illegal migration. And Trump immigration crackdown, US arrests visa overstayers at airports. And on sports news, hydration break, tactical changes led to Haaland's goal, says Ancelotti. Details shortly. And we'll begin with this one that says the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, will on Friday formally usher in a new era into its leadership as its outgoing registrar, Professor Ishaq Oloyede, hands over to his successor, Professor Segun Aina. The board announced that the official handover ceremony will be held on Friday, July 31, 2026 at exactly 10 a.m. with a live broadcast on its official social media platforms. In a notice released, JAM invites the public to witness what it describes as a significant milestone in the board's leadership journey. The appointment was announced in a statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. Aina is a professor of computer engineering at Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, with expertise in digital infrastructure, national examination systems, and institutional reforms. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Navy has dismantled an illegal fuel storage and distribution facility and recovered approximately 13,000 liters of products suspected to be illegally refined automotive gas oil during an operation in Boni, local government area of Rivers State. The operation was carried out by personnel of Forward Operating Base Boni under Operation Delta Sentinel, according to a statement signed by the Director of Naval Information, Navy Captain Abiodun Folurunshaw, posted on X. The Navy stated that operatives discovered an illegal petroleum product storage and distribution facility containing large capacity storage tanks, reservoirs, drums, hoses, and other equipment used in the unlawful handling and distribution of petroleum products. It added that the recovered products and associated facilities were handled in line with extant operational procedures. The Navy spokesperson described the operation as another milestone in the service's campaign against crude oil theft, illegal oil bunkering, and other forms of economic sabotage in the Niger Delta. And over to Lagos, where a 32-year-old dispatch rider, Emmanuel Jegede, has lost his life after suspected hoodlums allegedly pushed him off his motorcycle while attempting to extort him along the Ikotun-Idimu Road in the Alimosho local government area of Lagos State. The incident occurred after the rider completed a delivery and was heading to another destination. On getting to the Alhaja end of the road, two suspected hoodlums who were planning to extort him suddenly pushed him while in motion. An eyewitness on the condition of anonymity cited personal reasons stated that the rider rammed into the median in the process and died on the spot. The policemen from the Idimu Police Division were later said to have arrived at the scene and evacuated the cops. When contacted, the spokesperson for the Lagos State Police Command, Ambimbola Adebisi, confirmed the incident. She noted that investigations were ongoing to determine the circumstances surrounding the rider's death. And over to security matters now, where 4 people have been killed while a soldier has been declared missing following a gun battle between security personnel and suspected bandits in Todun BC community, Danko Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State. Chairman of Danko Wasagu local government area, Husiani Aliyu Bena, confirmed the incident in a telephone interview with journalists. Bena clarified that contrary to reports claiming a soldier was killed, the victims were 2 forest guards and 2 civilians, while 1 soldier remains missing after the encounter. According to him, the incident occurred when security personnel engaged bandits who attacked farmers in the community. He stated that several bandits were neutralized during the gun battle, while others escaped with gunshot wounds. He appealed to residents to remain calm and continue supporting security agencies with credible information, expressing confidence that ongoing security operations would restore lasting peace to the affected communities. And if you just tune in, you are listening to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. It's exactly 8 minutes gone past noon. Here's a recap of the headlines. JAM Registrar Oloyede bows out. Aina takes over. Navy dismantles illegal fuel storage facility in Rivers. Budget 2026. Government agencies vote 400 billion naira for mosques, palaces and halls. And on the foreign scene still to come, Trump asks new UK Prime Minister to tackle illegal migration. Trump immigration crackdown, US arrest visa overstayers at airports. And on sports news, hydration break and tactical changes led to Haaland's goal, says Ancelotti. We'll bring you details after this break. Please stay tuned.
Did you know that certain harmful practices can negatively impact your health and well-being? If you wish to live a healthy lifestyle, avoid excessive alcohol consumption, engage in regular exercise and physical activity to boost energy levels, prevent chronic diseases, and keep you fit. Quit smoking and vaping to prevent lung cancer and respiratory problems. Limit your intake of highly processed foods and eat more of fruits and vegetables. Do not drink and drive. Do not use gadgets such as phones and tablets while driving. Do not forget to strap your seatbelt or wear helmets while operating automobiles. Do not engage in poor hygiene and sanitation practices. Above all, do not neglect your mental health. Stress, anxiety, and depression can worsen symptoms and impact daily life. Remember, small changes today can lead to a healthier tomorrow. This message is brought to you by
Echo 100.7.
There, if you just joined us, you are listening to the Global News at Noon right here on Echo FM 100.7 Owerri. And now over to the rest of the news. In business news, about 78 ministries, departments and agencies of the federal government have set aside nearly 400 billion naira in the 2026 budget for the construction and rehabilitation of community halls, mosques, traditional rulers' palaces, village market squares, and civic centers. More than half of the 400 billion naira was earmarked for non-developmental projects, such as the supply of grains and motorcycles, sponsorship of community thrift societies, construction of museums and mini stadia, as well as the supply of tricycles, popularly called keke mawa, to communities. Some of the MDAs investigated are the Ministry of Defense Headquarters, the Nigerian Air Force, Air Power Center for Excellence, Nigerian Defense Academy, Technical Aid Corps, Foreign Mission, Federal Ministry of Information and National Orientation, Federal College of Land Resources, and so on and so forth. We now move over to the foreign scene where the United States President Donald Trump has urged the British Prime Minister Andy Bonham to tackle illegal migration, warning that the issue is killing the United Kingdom. Speaking during an interview, Trump noted that Bonham would eventually have to address immigration despite initially avoiding the subject after taking office. Trump's remarks comes hours after more than 500 migrants crossed the English Channel into Britain, according to reports. The comments also comes as Bonham's government continue to face questions over its plans to deal with asylum seekers. According to Home Office figures cited in the report, 172 people crossed the Channel on Wednesday, followed by 366 on Thursday in 3 boats and another 103 on Friday. Trump also reflected on its early interactions with the new British leader, saying Bonham is faced with significant challenges. In the same vein, reports say the United States has begun arresting foreign nationals with expired visas at airports across the country, marking an expansion of the President Donald Trump's administration's immigration enforcement campaign. According to reports, officers from the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement have detained travelers at check-in counters, boarding gates, and arrival terminals in at least 15 airports in recent weeks. The report stated that those targeted include spouses of U.S. citizens, skilled foreign workers awaiting visa extensions, former exchange visitors, and other migrants with pending immigration applications. The arrest reportedly represents a significant expansion of an existing collaboration between the Transportation Security Administration and the ICE. However, internal U.S. Department of Homeland Security documents indicate it now also covers people whose visas have expired, even if they have pending applications to remain in the country. Many remain in legal limbo while awaiting decisions on visa extensions, green card applications, or other immigration benefits, often holding valid work permits during the process. And lastly, on sports news, Brazil head coach Carlo Ancelotti has admitted that his tactical decisions during the hydration break may have cost his side in their 2026 FIFA World Cup defeat to Norway. Reflecting on the match in an interview, the Italian stated that Brazil was in control before the scheduled stoppage, despite Norway enjoying long spells of possession in their own half. He explained that he mistakenly believed Brazil had lost control of the game and responded by making several tactical changes. Ancelotti acknowledged that the substitutions disrupted Brazil's rhythm, allowing Norway to capitalize through Erling Haaland, whose decisive strike sealed the victory and ended Brazil's hopes of winning a 6th World Cup title. While praising Norway's disciplined approach, the former Real Madrid coach accepted full responsibility for the defeat, admitting that his tactical adjustments during the hydration break ultimately proved costly. Haaland's goal proved to be the decisive moment of the match, sending Norway into the next round and bringing Brazil's World Cup campaign to an end. And that's all for the Global News at noon this afternoon, as was brought to you directly from our news desk. For more information and inquiries, visit our social media platforms on Facebook at Echo FM, on X at Echo FM_Owerri, Instagram at Echo FM 100.7, and YouTube at Echo FM 100.7. You can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting www.echofm.net, that is www.echofm.net, or search for us on Radio Garden with the name Echo FM 100.7 Owerri, Nigeria. My name is Mary Omeniwode. Thank you so much for listening. Do have yourselves a lovely afternoon. Good afternoon to you.